Hi, my name is Steven, aka Italian Stallion on the forum, and I'm going to be demoing this Nexus 9 Tacoma Dash tablet for you today that I've got up for sale. The tablet is in although it looks like it's off, it's really in a deep sleep mode. Basically, it's an airplane mode and a power saving mode, so that when it's in your dash, it's really not using much, if any, energy. It could stay this way for a couple weeks and be just fine. When it senses power via your truck turning on and a USB charger in your truck, ideally something hidden behind the dash, pops right on. And this is kind of what I have set up as the home screen for my use. You could use anything you wanted. Just if you had a custom background that you thought was a little bit better, you could use that. But basically what we've got going on here is this is a simple wallpaper, right? And there are transparent home screen widgets that kind of you build a little transparent square over each one of these so-called buttons. So if I wanted to launch navigation, I have a transparent button that is mapped to the application Google Maps. So Google Maps would then launch and pop up. If I wanted to go to Spotify, I'd click on Spotify, and boom, away we go. Right now I have Wi-Fi turned off, which is why we've got no signal. But if I were to rectify that, we would have Wi-Fi access and access to a ton of music. Basically what I do for Spotify is I go in and I hit the download button such that I can make a local copy of all of the music that I have. That makes it very, very easy to have access to tons of songs without actually having to use up a bunch of data, meaning that I'm not blowing up my data plan all the time. The tablet does have Lte Connectivity, as you can kind of see on the top right there. You see little bars. So you can pop a SIM card in this from either AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, whomever, and you'll have 4G Lte connectivity, which is great. That means you don't have to hotspot with your phone. I've got this set up in a couple of different ways where you can. Actually, I don't think I've got settings. Oh yeah, I do. Such that makes it really easy to use. I do have this set up in an automated fashion. Oops, sorry, that popped up right as I was clicking in. I have it set up such that Tasker basically takes care of all the automation here. We've got a task for power any, basically saying if the power is connected, make sure that the screen stays on indefinitely. Don't get this thing dimming every once in a while. And then when it is unplugged, we have a task for power down. That will basically send it into airplane mode and then tell it dim the screen within 7 seconds. So I'll demo for you here in just a second. So if you unplug it, you're going to see that indication change to airplane mode like it just did. Puts it into a power saving mode, and then within 7 seconds it is gonna go to sleep. There you go. And again, this is such that the tablet boots instantly when you turn the truck on. You don't have to wait for anything, but doesn't really use any power while your truck is off. I mean, yes, there's just a tiny bit of power use from the tablet's battery, but it usually stays charged pretty well. Let me get that plugged in. As long as you drive your car, as long as you drive your truck, a couple times a week, you shouldn't have any issues with the charging. There is a little bit of a hidden button there, showing here that we have external power. It's accepting 1500 milliamp hours at any one given time, and we are charging the battery. Here you can see it's at 99%. Fast charging is enabled, which is something that's a little custom that the Nexus 9 did not come with, but we can talk about what software I'm using for that if you want to buy this. It also has the ability to have USB media server support. So basically, if you were to plug in a USB hub, plug a flash drive into this, then you'd also have the ability to have more storage with it using an external flash drive. I would encourage you to use a USB DAC, something like this Hi-Fi Me, that you then plug in a splitter so you could have RCA out to your amp. You will need an amplifier with this build because there is no amplifier built into a tablet, obviously. So you can't hook speakers directly up to this. This is going to go via RCA to your amplifier, at which point your speakers will then be hooked up to that. Happy to include some of this connectivity stuff. This gives you the ability to, this would plug right into your tablet. This little cord here would plug into a charger in your car, again, ideally hidden behind the dash so you don't have wires everywhere. And then, from that USB, you can plug anything into that. As far as that goes, you can map any of these things to programs you like. If you're a Power Amp user, you like that app, you can do that here. If you prefer to use Pandora, more than welcome to change that mapping to the Pandora app. Browser, if you're a Firefox user or a Chrome user, right? Take your pick. Navigation, if you want to switch to Waze instead of using Gmaps, again, more power to you. Other than that, it works just like a normal Android tablet. I've got it pretty trimmed down, keep it pretty lean. I don't keep a lot of extra apps around. The only thing that you cannot do with this setup is Bluetooth calling. Obviously, you can't pair your phone to a tablet in such a way that you can make calls from it. I think AT&T has actually created an app for this. I've not tested it, but it does exist. You do have the ability to use something like a Google Voice or something like that that you could make calls with if you're really looking for that type of functionality. This little hole here in the dash kit, this dash kit will come with the sale. That little hole was used for a external microphone at one point that I was using for things like Google Voice and whatnot. But basically, I found it to be unnecessary. If you were to hit that and say, "Hey, find me a Chipotle."
Chipotle Mexican Grill is at Chipotle Mexican Grill, 18,152 Preston Road, I-1, Dallas, Texas, 75252.
So you can still use your voice controls for there. Obviously, if you use the right terminology and say, "Hey, take me to a Chipotle," it would pop open navigations and take you right there. Any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer anything you guys have to ask. I designed this setup, so I kind of know everything that makes it tick. Like I said, the dash kit will come with the sale. It's kind of a custom build situation. You will need your little plastic yellow tabs that come off the existing stereo. So you will need those. Obviously, you're going to need your clock and your hazard button that pops right out of your existing dash, and that should be all you need to know. Basically, what I'd end up doing is just signing out of the device, right? I'm signed in as my Android Gmail account. Everything should stay the same. Then you would log into the tablet with your Gmail account, and any of the apps that are needed that you don't already have, you would need to buy. I don't think I'm using anything that is something you need to purchase. I think Tasker's free. Amazing Text, that's the thing I use for the widgets. That is free. Nova Launcher Prime is probably the only thing you'd ever need to buy. I think it's like $3 or something like that. Everything else kind of comes with it and is free in the Play Store. One other thing I forgot to mention, but it's just kind of cool and I don't want to forget about it. If you're an avid off-roader, one of the things that's really nice about the tablet install is this Bubble Level app. It will show you if you are level or not. So if you know that your breakover angle is 35 degrees or something like that, you can set it to go to a certain, it'll change colors when you get to that. That way, you know, probably time to swallow your pride and get off that ramp because you're about to flip. So, hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope that somebody enjoys this tablet after they buy it. Thanks, bye.